Otto spin to win has twice got them through to the UK Grand Finals.
The robot that went down in history books as one of the most original, if not the most original, we've ever seen. And I'm slightly worried that in the evolution of Robot Wars, you're going to slip behind, because you've only done one adjustment this time.
Well, we've actually done two, but the first adjustment was to move the disc drive motor underneath the disc.
Yeah, what difference is that going to make?
Hopefully improve the reliability of driving the disc.
Now, that's what we want from Hypno-Disc. What was the other improvement?
Derek's had a haircut.
Oh, lovely, yeah, nice.
A massively destructive weapon weighing 20 kilos and running at 900 RPM, 10mm aluminium checker plate chassis, and the disc cover is hardened and thicker than before.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the teams. Dominator 2, Peter Halloway, Elliot Smart and Paul Tolliday. And together in that booth, Hypno-Disc, the Rose twins and Dad Ken, and Spawn again, Darren Hayden-Ball and Luke Chapman. And in the arena for you, we have the Sergeant. Attention for the flamethrower, please. And straining at the leash, Growler.
3, 2, 1.
Don't forget, 2 robots will survive this melee to go through to the All-Stars Heat 2 second round. Oh, Hypno-Disc up and over from Spawn Again's Flipper, but retreating to come again. Dominator 2 goes after the Hypno-Disc blade with the mighty sharpened weaponry. Remember, I told you can only attack using that weapon if an opponent is directly in front of them. And you see Hypno-Disc was quick to get out of the way there of the Dominator 2 machine. At the controls, Peter Halloway. A side-on slam. Dominator 2 against the Arena Cyborg comes back-to-back with Hypno-Disc. We're not seeing great destructive force unleashed. Well, the blade has done nothing to Hypno-Disc's spinning weapon. Just glanced off it. Nothing at all. So we know that Hypno-Disc can survive against Dominator 2 unless it's flipped, maybe. Like that. Toppling, but down and okay. Dominator certainly seems to want to take on Hypno-Disc. Spawn again, wisely keeping out of trouble thus far, having the odd flip or two. Hypno-Disc in the middle. Can they get their weaponry spinning up to full velocity? Because that is key to me. It doesn't seem to be working at full strength. The blade has stopped. Hypno-Disc in trouble again. When the blade isn't at 100%, we know Hypno-Disc is very vulnerable. We've seen that in the past. They've stopped. Dominator 2 fighting it out with Spawn again. Well, the Rose boys look very, very worried. Dave and Derek, both engineers by trade. The ref one has to look. Hypno-Disc is over now. They're in great peril. I don't think they'll be able to self-right. They're being counted out. The axe of Dominator 2 isn't making great purchase, to be honest. That'll be a worry for later on in the competition. For the Dominator team, Hypno-Disc, they're out. They've gone. No longer in this competition, then, to be considered an all-star. Growler has them in its jaws. With the skid-steer system very quick across the arena floor. Oh. How about that for a push? Down the pit, the Hypno-Disc. If he lets go, dog with a bone and all that. Hypno-Disc KO, disappointingly so.
Oh, what a tear up for the books. Hypno-Disc, immobilised. Spawn again, and Dominator 2. They go through.
Well, you see, this is a bit of a shocker, isn't it? Are you shocked?
Yeah, well, it's happened before, so we're not really that surprised.
Deep down, do you think you're getting a bit complacent?
Definitely not, no. We were giving it the full belly and we were dishing out as hard as we could, but the other guys could take it, and all credit to them.
Hypno-Disc.
3 times UK Championship Grand Finalists.
Right, Pops. What's the battle plan?
Well, the battle plan has started. An hour ago, we've been watching our opponents laying on armour for the last 2 hours. But our plan is to win.
Yes.
A massively destructive weapon, once the most feared in the war zone, backed up by a 10mm aluminium checker plate chassis, aluminium rear armour and a hardened 6mm aluminium disc cover.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's see the two teams. Dantomkia, basically the Lambert family on the left, and the Rose family and the Hypno-Disc team on the right. There's the Chromalot boys, Steve Merrill and Ray Tate on the left, and S.M.I.D.S.Y, captain by Mick Reed on the right. In the arena for the house robots, Matilda with the lifting tusks. And there's Mr. Psycho with the claw, the hammer, and the very bad attitude and breath.
3, 2, 1.
Watch for Dantomkia with the first assault there on S.M.I.D.S.Y. S.M.I.D.S.Y low centre of gravity, but a 1.5 centimetre ground clearance. Could prove vulnerable. Look at Hypno-Disc. Under pressure from Dantomkia immediately. And Hypno-Disc slammed into the CBZ. 3 times UK Championship Grand Finalist, but in all sorts of trouble. Gone. Out. In the CBZ, under pressure from Dantomkia, Mr. Psycho came in, had a look. Dantomkia flew in for a second attack, and out they went out of the arena. Hypno-Disc gone. Their chance of fighting for the challenge belt is over. 2 machines survive this opening melee. Down goes the pit of oblivion. Dantomkia needs to get away from Mr. Psycho. Could literally crush it in that CBZ. What can we see of Sir Chromalot and S.M.I.D.S.Y? Nothing much, because Dantomkia is having all the trouble from Mr. Psycho. Get out of there. Don't try and take on Mr. Psycho. He has a long reach and an even longer memory. S.M.I.D.S.Y's, for a minute, right underneath that hammer, I thought. Sir Chromalot, very good steering here by Steve Merrill and Ray Tate. Basically what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is running away. They're just running away from trouble, trying to keep out of trouble. It may well serve them well in the future. S.M.I.D.S.Y's under pressure and flipped by Dantomkia with a full bottle pressure flipper. Can act as a powerful spinner as well. S.M.I.D.S.Y, well, meeting a sandwich there from Dantomkia and Sir Chromalot. Some nifty work by Sir Chromalot until Dantomkia flicks it over. It's self-righted though. That's basically an American truck wheel hub you're seeing there. 25mm thick alloy shell on Sir Chromalot. They are a stylish and fun team. Great competitors as well, Steve Merrill and Ray Tate. We love them, really. Ha! Boy, heck. Now, his machine is out there, Sir Chromalot. Dantomkia is pushing it away across the arena floor. S.M.I.D.S.Y living dangerously, flirting with the floor flipper, which is easy to say unless you've been out for a night on the tiles with Steve Merrill and Ray Tate. Yeah, nothing's easy to say. S.M.I.D.S.Y in the CPZ is overturned. Mr. Psycho looks on. What is that flailing chain on Sir Chromalot? What is that all about? Is that a weapon? Is that something that they wear down the nightclubs of South Ockenden in Essex? I'm not too sure. They've been overturned in the corner. S.M.I.D.S.Y's flung up in the air. There goes Matilda on those bling bling boys from Essex. The Sir Chromalot Steel boys. They're out. Matilda caught them with a flywheel bottom, which is rather a grisly thought for anyone. In they go, and Sir Chromalot tossed away like some loose leaf in the autumn fall, and they've gone. So we're left with two machines to fight on. S.M.I.D.S.Y and Dantomkia. There's the fallen knight of the realm, Sir Chromalot. They've arrived in the war zone by helicopter and plane in the past, and limousine, Sir Chromalot, and they'll leave, in a trash can, really. Dantomkia and S.M.I.D.S.Y as cease is called Fight On. The Rose boys go. And also the Sir Chromalot team there on the right.
Did you like that battle? Dantomkia on awesome form. Only two robots remain in the arena. They go through. S.M.I.D.S.Y and Dantomkia.
See, what often happens in this business, this world of show business that we live in, is that people have a meteoric rise to fame. And then they think that's it, they don't need to do any more work. I'm afraid complacency is set in.
No complacency at all, man.
Come on, what happened then? We used to have amazing fights from you.
The arena wall isn't tall enough, is it? That's what it is. We need the tall arena wall and we'd be all right.